Welcome back to Mahoromatic, the tale of a dying combat android who wants to be a maid. That old hack idea. When last we left her, Mahoro had gone to battle an android from Saint, the arriving alien forces, only for Suguru to help convince the opponent that there was no point to this, so they all can go back to their lives. Their lives with friends, dreams, and a teacher who is the reason sex offender registries exist. Let's get started with Season 2, which begins with a title reminiscent of Return of the King and Return of the Jedi. Yes, it's called Return of the Maid. I'll be back with fresh sheets. We soon pick up with Ryuga on the Saint ship. Ryuga was the one who battled Mahoro.
The more I investigated and learned about Mahoro's life and her world, the more difficult I found it to fight her. Yeah, and then I got a taste of what it's like to live the life of a human being.
That sentiment would be a lot less worrying if it wasn't over this porno track while showing us row after row of schoolgirls. The only one who seems to be concerned is Slash, Mahoro's panther android sidekick and protector, who can't believe Mahoro doesn't have a problem with Ryuga maintaining his disguise as a teacher. And to remind us what we're watching, we pick up with Suguru and his buddies looking at an autographed photo book of a hot nude girl, only to be interrupted by Ryuga.
Praise the Lord!
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 What are you guys doing? Let's see.
Who has goddamn porno mags anymore? Welcome to the 21st century, Buck Rogers. You designed a house with fucking iPads in the walls. Yet you're jerking your dick like a goddamn pilgrim.
That's right, man. I like to fucking read.
Mr. Ryuga!
What are you doing here? This is... You boys! All dirty thoughts are bad! Confiscate!
Now go on the internet and look at porn like a normal person. Looking it over, though, Ryuga has second thoughts, believing that something so artistically done is worthy of exception. That's always a good excuse. You can clearly see the statement about the maternal embrace and the expression of unconditional love that we all seek. When she squeezes that cucumber between her boobs, she is indeed squeezing the collective need for approval that we all have. But the movement of art is interrupted by Miss Shikijo, who is shocked Suguru would have that.
If that's what he wants, he doesn't need to hold back. I'll show him the real things whenever he wants.
Again, Miss Shikijo?
Look.
I'd make a comment, but it's so artistically done. Well, Slash is nearby and also believes all dirty thoughts are bad and thinks that since Ryuga is having second thoughts, he's going to have to destroy Ryuga after all. His plan to ambush him after school fails, though, because Harune grabs Slash and brings him to the bathhouse to get cleaned up. After Mahoro realizes that Slash didn't come here because of some pending enemy attack,
What did I do to deserve this?
and can I figure out how to do it again? After that's done, Slash is finally ready to have it out with Ryuga. But Ryuga isn't interested in fighting. He's decided he wants to continue to see what it's like to live as a human. But Slash wants him to see what it's like living like a scratching post and attacks him, planning to shred him as fast as a politician does his compromising expense report. So Mahoro jumps into action and reprimands both of them for fighting.
Now listen to me. The fact that you're grumpy is proof that your tummy needs food.
You're the only one around here who gets bitchy when she's hungry.
Yeah, that's right. Hit someone. That'll prove you're not bitchy. Meanwhile, Suguru has spotted his book among Ryuga's stuff, who gives permission to take it back, only to draw Mahoro's attention to it.
Dirty thoughts are bad. You shouldn't have them.
Now go home, take a cold shower, and flog yourself until you purge Satan from your mind. Well, Titty Mags trump fighting androids, so Mahoro chases after Suguru to claim the book while Slash and Ryuga are forced to sort their problems out without her. Ryuga admits that he wants a chance to explore this new form of strength after witnessing what he did in that battle with Mahoro when Suguru came to the rescue. And so Slash says that despite his utter loathing for this Saint Android piece of shit, he'll turn a blind eye so long as Ryuga behaves himself. So, a happy ending.
Let's confiscate this.
Please, no!
Except for lovers of boobs. At some future date, when all that wackiness is behind us, Suguru isn't going home with his buddies, so he's not there when they spot a new girl in what looks like some super high-tech jogging equipment. But not to worry, he won't be able to miss her. Stalking is really more art than science.
Hello.
And it takes practice, too. Not speaking from experience, obviously. I'm just paranoid and believe in knowing your enemy. She follows him all the way to Mahoro, and naturally they're wondering what her deal is. She asks if she can stay with them, and what possible reason is there to say no to that request from a complete stranger who's been stalking you? But the girl has got a problem. Yeah, that. For crimes against the Japanese post office. Mahoro figures this girl could use some help. So, as the most polite of all action heroes ever, she gives the bag to Suguru to bring home while she leaps off with the stalker in her arms. Their stalker, not the stalker with the sniper rifle. Although we finally have the answer to the question of who watches the watchers. It's a guy with a large weapon.
You came here especially to see Suguru and I, didn't you? Mm-hmm. In that case, you may be a very important guest for Suguru and I. Excuse me, but if I'm not mistaken, you're from management, right?
What, like she does the typing or something? Maybe that's why they would want to kill her. She forgot to change the coffee filter one time too many. It would be justifiable then. Well, the real explanation is that management is the name of another organization, which is frightfully confusing. It's like naming your secret project, Project. I mean, that's just begging for problems. Where are we at with Project? Oh, Project projects the project will be able to project projectiles at projected speeds beyond projects previously involving projection velocity. Do you have those projections on Project? Certainly. Bring the projector with the projected project data showing when we tested the projectiles at Project. I see you tested Project in the projects. We projected the project's residents would be the ideal Project projectile recipients. Because of Operation, yes? Exactly. The successful operation of Operation allowed us to project the Project was ideal for the projects, and all future operations that operate projects like Project should be operated in this operational area, i.e. the projects, as a matter of both the project of operations and the operation of projects. I would just like to pause and admit I have created the world's longest, stupidest tangent that was not written by Seth MacFarlane. Anyway, Mahoro and the new girl fight the robot bird things, although Mahoro does most of the heavy lifting. That's just showing off. After a more solid fight, where Mahoro again really does most of the work, and that's the point, a report comes in to some evil scientist-sounding guy about how the plan so far is a success. And I'm guessing it involves Mahoro because he has a wall covered with pictures of her, including shots of her nude, so I can't imagine what else he can see that he hasn't already. I mean, X-ray, colonoscopy, what's left? Anyway, Mahoro brings the girl back, having noted that whatever's wrong with her, it's something on the inside, so it merits further consideration. Plus, we get the sense that she feels a growing emotional connection with this girl, so she brings her home, and we get the cliffhanger as the girl asks if she can be allowed to stay. Since she's in the title sequence, I'm going to guess the answer is yes. We pick up the second episode, and Minawa, as she has now been named, is staying with them to serve as Mahoro's assistant, and also will be going to school with Suguru with the cover story that she is Mahoro's little sister. That's a lot to take on. I hope she's up for it.
That's great, thanks.
I think we're going to have to mark this one down as needs work. After they leave, Slash says that he's suspicious of Minawa, but Mahoro is affronted and says that if he hurts her, she'll never forgive him. But Slash is so worried that he starts to provide exposition. The origin of management is cloudy, but it was some point in the distant past, and now they are the ones who rule the world from the shadows. The Illuminati, Trilateral Commission, stonemasons, amateurs. These guys have meticulous plans for humanity. So naturally, aliens showing up is a real burr up their backsides. It's like setting up the 10,000 domino for your elaborate demonstration only to find out that you put it on a fault line. It's serious. So serious that they have sent in their top ventriloquists to sort it out.
There is no change to the date of completion.
I see. Any change in Saints' movements?
Their military activity has remained at a standstill since summer, although the numbers of small ships flown for publicity are beginning to increase.
Shocking. Tell me all that again, only while you're drinking a glass of water. They sit around trying to figure out Saint's new behavior.
The various weapon systems we have developed or have in development are far superior to anything the aliens have efficiency-wise.
The chair recognizes Dr. Bad Von Evilton.
However, to put it bluntly, my reject turned out to be much smarter and far more effective than your completely useless and failed alarm system, wasn't it? Sorry, Doctor, but that's the truth.
Although I'm the one who is smarter than both of them.
That's why I get to stand during meetings and say nothing.
Due to the loss of all 3 prototype man-eaters, a major delay is forecast for the mass production schedule of the system. The resulting damages to management, including repercussions, are approximately $59 million.
You got change for 100?
According to the rules, Dr. Kianan will assume joint liability of 10% of the damages. I have prepared a loan for this purpose, so please use it, Doctor.
Jesus. Lucky thing you got that loan there, huh? Should have that paid off, about the times the continents realign themselves.
I assure you, it's nothing
Professor,
to be alarmed about.
You must quiet yourself.
I know that. You're damn irritating, you know?
Sorry, that's how I was made.
You chose to fuse Wesley Crusher with Justin Bieber, and I am the unholy spawn of that mad science. They toss out options, but our evil scientist says that with hints that Vesper and Saint have joined forces, they're in trouble, and need to stop sitting around jerking each other off and take positive action. The others turn on him, but the Big Cheese says that all the big institutions are counting on them to make sure this alien invasion stuff doesn't cause them to collapse like Uncle Todd after his whiskey-soaked turkey dinner. So, there's no choice. They're going to fight. Meanwhile, Mahoro is wondering what's going on.
No, that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, I think he knows disemboweling is a definite no-no. Besides, Minawa really doesn't need someone to take her out.
Minawa!
Yeah, she's capable of handling that just fine on her own. That is her character trait, actually. She's incredibly clumsy and always apologizing intently whenever it happens. I'll bet there's a funny story behind that. I can't wait to hear it. Ryuga is wondering what's going on with her, though, and discovers Slash may not be slicing her open, but he is spying on her, and more effectively than standing right next to her than ducking behind a trash can.
If she makes me suspicious in even the slightest way, I'll kill her.
No, bad kitty, bad. No killing. Meanwhile, Mahoro has arrived with some food, landing on the roof since she used her wing jet thingy. Up there is Miss Shikijo, lamenting how little food she has to sustain her.
I think she intends to come to the house for a free meal again. Maybe I'll throw a rock at her.
And she's worried Slash will overreact. Put away those claws, animal. Let's chuck something hard and jagged at her head instead. But as Miss Shikijo further bemoans how little she gets to eat when not mooching off Mahoro, she starts to feel bad and decides to drop some Chinese dumplings on her instead. Mahoro, remember, has a perfect heart, even if sometimes it wants to toss a half-brick at someone. But it's important to find out if everything's going all right for Minawa at school.
Mina!
Nothing unusual there, he just needs to get to 6th period on time. Minawa nearly has a nasty fall down the stairs, despite having Ryuga, Slash, Suguru, and Mahoro watching her. That's a lot of guardian angels asleep at the wheel. Luckily, they brought in a ringer, Suguru's buddy, who catches her. The beginning of an infatuation, perhaps? I mean, she doesn't have a staple in the middle of her stomach, but otherwise she does seem like his type. But there's still all those people following her, even out to athletics.
Strange.
Look at all the cute boys!
Though I suppose some make that kind of thing their lifestyle choice. After a few problems... and more problems... we can get back to what the hell were we doing again? I've lost track.
Once in the mountains, this twit ate some weird mushrooms that were growing there and spent the whole night rolling with laughter.
Yeah, fuck it. Whatever it was couldn't have been very important.
Please, Mahoro, try to control your violence.
I can see your underwear.
Alright, that's it. Let me know when you circle back around to the plot.
First pop, treble 19. Double 12! Dave Lennon, say it! Cause I'm gobsmacked! I am gobsmacked! Say it, Dave!
You are present in a moment of the greatest sporting history, certainly in darts. 2 9-darters in one night from Phil Taylor.
After all of that stuff has worked itself out, the trio begins speculating on whether or not this is part of a larger goal on management's part. And even Mahoro admits that she cannot rule it out. Minawa didn't try to murder her in her sleep, she points out, but that doesn't mean that there isn't some other plan that she's following. But it was Suguru's suggestion that they take her in that convinced her and also opened the opportunity for Mahoro to explain the relationship between Vesper, management, and Saint. Vesper wants to see the peaceful integration of the aliens into human society, and since the other two are fighting, that kind of puts a kibosh on that goal. Hence, each side is at war with the other two, technically. Thus, if Mahoro rejected Minawa, as safe as that call might be, it might be against the principles that she feels she's supposed to stand for.
If anything should happen to me, or if I'm destroyed, I want you to promise that you'll protect Suguru together.
In 2 weeks, we'll be returning with more of Mahoromatic, where we'll have a chance to see how these pieces here fit into the larger story that is playing out with this new season, as we build towards the inevitable, as our ending of each episode reminds us that there are only so many days left before Mahoro stops functioning. And those days won't all be fun and games in the bath either.
All hail the Overlord! All hail the Overlord! All dirty thoughts are bad! Confiscate!
My treasure! Don't take away my treasure! Come back! Come back!